Alright, so this is my project foodeR. I'm going to be demonstrating some of the things that we learned in class within my application. So the first thing is you'd sign up on the website. So we'll just put an email in there. Give it a password. Sweet. So now we go ahead and log in. Awesome. So when you first pull up the page, it loads automatically your information based off your location. So it gives a call to the Yelp API from the GPS API that pulls your location without allowing any access or any other information. Right now this is actually showing in Philadelphia, only because I'm actually on my cell phone Wi-Fi because my regular internet is completely out. So you can write a review. So we'll say this place was awesome. Thanks, foodeR. Go ahead and save that, and it automatically updates up here. As well too as we can just like the page, and it'll automatically increment our score up there for every like or dislike that we make. So you can keep track of how many things you actually gone through and liked or disliked as for restaurants. You can also click on it, which will then pull up the actual map to get there. The recent Yelp review, how many stars it's been rated by other users from the Yelp API, and as well to the address and the name of the location and the categories that it goes with. Especially with these categories, that comes in handy when we go to the actual search functionality, which then we could say we're just looking for specifically Mexican food. We could say, oh, Los Gatos Mexican Tequila, just like, and as you can see, it's still incrementing up at the top. So next we could do, I'll go ahead and just log right out of this, and I'll just log into my regular one. There we go. So as you can see, this is the recent review from the last poster, which was just the one that we commented with our new user. So we could say, and then we could post the last review from ourselves. And if we were to actually go through and log into our other account, which was, I believe that was it. There we are. Sweet. You can see that the comments still maintain, so it's almost just like a chat system. However, you're doing it for reviews, so you only get allowed to post one review for that place, and then you can post another review in about 30 days. That way it doesn't overflow just like a chat room, or people aren't spamming it or causing other errors and such like that. But it's completely independent for each account, which is really cool, but it gives it the game of how many restaurants have you liked, and it actually goes through and likes and dislikes, and then it will match you up best base pairs off of that. Another really cool thing too is a lot of these have overrides, so like if you go to login, it'll tell you that your email and password are completely wrong. One really cool thing I found was I created a directive for all my notifications. So they all do the same thing. Basically they all pop up with the Bootstrap template, and we just pass in certain data parameters like the status or the actual message, and then that'll automatically create that button with the closeout tag independently for each time that you list it inside of the page. So like if we take a look here, where's my notifications? Here they are. So it creates a tag called notification, and then the alert data is going to be notification. And the button that we use to submit it, that one's got our special parameters on it that says, okay, notification status, hide it, message, thanks for the review, and then the info. And we can do that constantly without having to actually create independent divs for each one of those buttons and create independent functions, which makes life a lot easier. The other thing as well, created the factory for the Yelp, so that way it calls out using the all signature and then returns back as a callback parameter, which in that one we can actually go up here to see. So it'll go through run the scripts. It'll check to see if the user is logged in. If not, it'll redirect him back to the home page. This is our callback for our actual location. So once this runs, this actually calls back to here, inputs the location information that we get, creates the map, and it also prints out any information or the actual comments that we post on the web page. Each comment is added to the actual database as an array, and then the like function also as well too. So independently from Firebase, both of these will post to dislike or like for each one of those users specifically. Then we have the next function, which then just pretty much scrolls through the amount of API data that we return back. Our search function, which resubmits our actual Yelp search API or our factory down below. And as well too, we do have user authentication set up for it. For when you first sign up, it applies the data of that user to the database. And then the login itself is just going to actually either redirect you or tell you there was a problem. What's really cool too is that if we go to, where is it, app.js, no, routes. In our routes we have the when authenticated. So this template can only be loaded when, or that template can be loaded by anybody that is actually trying to load the page. Whereas this one you can only actually access the template or the page if you're an authenticated user. The authentication is decided through Firebase, which it all just literally links through itself with the local login. Created a factory for auth, so that way we're able to reference the Firebase database at any time without having to actually re-insinuate the actual Firebase link. I also did put SAS into it. I'm actually going through and doing a little bit of the redesign of the page itself. However, though, just for example, I've already defined all the fonts, and I'm reusing them every place that I need to use the word font. Just so that way when I do go back to change it, I only have to change the font in one place. All that's compiled through Grunt, and my Grunt also watches, serves, and it also, where is it, generates the SAS script files. Where is it? Yeah, library load. Then we got CSS, which does the SAS, and take a look at our views. So the views here, I do a ng repeat, and then I do an ngIf to hide the results that get returned back based on the actual index of that API. So none of the items actually don't not match up with each other. It's only on the front end that their identifications is different from the back end, but that way it separates the two, and when we go to save things, people can't track it or identify it in order to kind of inject into it. So yeah, ng hide. Keep going down, and then on our main page here, we also have the success and failure buttons. Our background video for the main page itself. Everything's linked in through CDNs for the most part. Other than that, it's just Angular Fire or the files that are being linked in. Yeah, and that's about it.